Chicago Sports Desk. As always, I'm Alex Burstein, and it's October, and that means one thing. MLB playoffs. The MLB playoffs started last night, so we're one game in. I'm 1 game and 3 innings late, but better late than never, so we'll get right into it with first our game last night. The New York Yankees took on the Minnesota Twins in a highly anticipated AL wildcard match. Yankees starting pitcher Didi gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but then Twins did the same thing, giving up 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And after 2 innings, both of the starting pitchers were out. 2 of the shortest starts ever for both of these teams' postseason history. This was the shortest postseason start since 1960 by a pitcher. And the Yankees have a long history of the playoffs, so that's pretty interesting. But then the rest of the game was pretty much all Yankees, as the Yankees went on to score and pretty much held the Twins to 1 more run. Aaron Judge, the rookie, had 1 home run, and if he hits another home run, he will join Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig as the only 2 other 50 home run Yankees to have more than 1 home run in more than 50 home runs in a season, and then have more than 1 in the postseason. I believe Ruth had 3, which was kind of the record. So Aaron Judge is kind of looking to break the Babe Ruth's record. So any of those haters out there saying no MVP, just look at the group he's joining there. So Twins then just couldn't give up the run support, gave up run support for their pitcher, and it ended 8-4. And we are going to Arizona right now. Arizona taking on Colorado in the NL wild card. Bottom of the 3rd currently, and the Arizona Diamondbacks are leading Colorado Rockies. In the matchup, I thought Colorado would win, but it really depends. So right now, it's still early in the game. If Charlie Blackmon and Nolan Arenado show up, it will be definitely a close match heading into those later innings, but Paul Goldschmidt is probably top 3 first baseman in the National League, possibly even all of MLB. And NL has really good first basemen, so the fact that Paul Goldschmidt is able to stay in that top 5, top 3, and he's been in it the past few seasons, really shows how legit of a player he is. So Colorado will have to have a lot of runs in these next few innings to hold the Arizona Diamondbacks. So let's get into the rest of the playoffs and how it's looking so far and what my predictions are. So, as I said last night, the Yankees defeated Minnesota 8-4, and then right now Arizona's defeating Colorado 3-0. But that's the wild card. Wild card nice, but what we all like is the divisional series, the championship series, and then all of our favorites, the World Series. Last year, we had my team, the Chicago Cubs, make it all the way, breaking the 108-year curse. I'm guessing you guys heard a little something about that. And broke the Cleveland Indians' heart. They were trying to end a 56-year drought, I believe. So Cleveland is back at it, the best team in baseball currently, best AL team, best team in the MLB in the second half, only to the Cubs, who were the best team in the NL. So some rivalry definitely happening between them. So in the divisional series, the Cleveland Indians are taking on the New York Yankees. I have Cleveland winning that just because if Yankees were to upset, it would be, that would be awesome, but I doubt it to happen because Cleveland has such a strong pitching. They have Trevor Bauer, I can't name them off my head, but they released their pitching roster yesterday, and they really have, first 3 games, they're all-star pitchers, I believe, who are starting. That's something the Cubs do not have this season. So that's definitely where the Cleveland has the upper hand. Then we have Houston and Boston, one of the more intriguing matchups of the divisional series and of the playoffs possibly. Astros started the season hot, one of the best teams in the MLB, then came out of the second half slowly and didn't really pick up the pace. So they got the second seed, and then Boston got the third seed. This is a Boston team that is really impressive. They were able to beat out Yankees on the last few days. I believe it was the second to last day where they were able to have that comeback. And I actually have Boston winning in 6 games. Chris Sale starting in 5 games because it's best of 5. If Chris Sale can start 2 games in this series, that would be good for Boston, but also bad for Boston because it would mean if they do advance, then Cleveland, when they face Cleveland, hypothetically, they wouldn't have Chris Sale to the second game. So it's a win-lose situation for Boston, but they need anything they take to make it to the AL Championship Series. And then in the AL Championship Series, I have a bit of an upset. Boston taking over Cleveland to make it to the World Series. That's really a matchup of the pitchers. And naturally, I don't have much to say because that's a big question mark. 6 games that could go in. So now we go to the NL. LA Dodgers taking on Arizona, Colorado winner. Right now it would be Arizona. Dodgers, I have winning probably in 3 games, possibly 4. But that's only because Dodgers have been such a good team this season. Nothing against Arizona. Kudos, my bad. Kudos to Arizona with Zach Greinke, Paul Goldschmidt. They've definitely turned up the pace this season. And there can always be an upset, but I have the Dodgers there. And then on the bottom, we have Washington and Chicago. Chicago released their pitching rotation, and all of their players are big-time names. They're starting with Kyle Hendricks, probably their best player currently because of injuries, pitcher. So Kyle Hendricks starting game 1. Then Lester taking the mound. Lester hoping to have a good game. He's had a few 5+ run first innings in the past few months, but he was struggling with some injuries, and now he's back in full condition. So Lester taking the mound there, and then in Game 3, Quintana, Game 4, Arrieta, and then they'd have Lester or Hendricks if come be Game 5. So the fact that the Cubs could get to the NL Championship Series without using Arrieta, the two year ago Cy Young Award winner, is really scary for the Dodgers because they have Clayton Kershaw, but pitching is not their strong suit. They got great fielders, great hitters, but pitching is not their strong suit. So if Chicago is able to lock down that Dodgers defense in the NL Championship Series and lock down their offense, Cubs, I have making it to the World Series to bring up a matchup of the 3 seeds, Boston and Chicago, and then I have a really good series, once again, Chicago in the Game 7 situation taking on Boston, and I have Boston winning it all. So most of these matchups I have going to late round games, 5, 6, 7 games, so any of these could be changing. But that's all the time we have for today, folks. Later this week, I'm going to be setting up a Instagram page for this show, so make sure to look out for that. It'll probably be at Chicago Sports Desk if that's available. So make sure to look out for that. Thanks always for all the support, and peace. Thanks for listening. Make sure to check back next Wednesday for a new episode. Goodbye.